AM 560. The Answer.
Think about all the federal so-called judges who are nothing more than Fourth Reich upper echelon posing as judges that you could eliminate once we finally have beyond the we already have beyond the shadow of a doubt the evidence. It just has to be prosecuted in the right fashion to eliminate the American dark ages known as the Biden years. And then you look at this particular settlement, and this Obama judge, this is an Obama judge. I think, wasn't it the pencil neck geek, Andy Shaw's daughter? You're right, Squirrel. She was sworn in under the dim-witted diapers, but she worked for Obama. And he was the better government, right? Probably why he never caught Obama, all the scum that he stole and all the money he laundered.
This settlement between Donald Trump and the U.S. government is now legally invalid. The agreement had granted the president immunity from tax audits and set up a fund to compensate Trump allies who believed they'd been unjustly persecuted. On Monday, federal judge Kathleen Williams argued the initial lawsuit was filed in bad faith and the result was collusive. She found the two parties did not have opposing interests. Trump, the plaintiff, was president and therefore in charge of the Internal Revenue Service, the defendant.
They leaked his information. Now, sue him for the $10 billion. Sue them all. Don't settle for a frackin' nickel. Make them pay, Big Donnie. You do what you want with the money. That's the way it always should be. But it got me thinking, all those years that the Duchess of Chaffington and the coke fiend, rapist, Bill Clinton, operated and stole money, all in the name of a foundation. All fraud.
Hilary Clinton is being ordered to return $50 million of the money she received from foreign entities related to the Clinton Foundation during her time at the State Department.
So during her time at the State Department, foreign governments were bribing the Clinton Foundation. Bribing the Clinton Foundation to get what? Just special dispensation? Or foreign policy money laundering schemes? And she just has to give back $50 million? When is this slob going to go to prison? It'll be like sending me to hedonism in the 80s. She'll love it there.
According to U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro, quote, she used her position to divert taxpayer money to her personal funds. This is a blatant corruption and maximum abuse of power. Okay, here are the facts. During Clinton's State Department years, the foundation received tens of millions of dollars from overseas donors, including governments like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Norway. The contributions coincided with state approvals for arms deals or other diplomatic decisions.
Right out in broad daylight. And you know what else annoys me about this squirrel? Where was the IRS? No! Where are you guys? You're bothering waitresses. Who what? Don't pay you $500? Charge them 18% VIG. What's this inner thigh chafing rat ever going to pay any real costs?
Raising suspicions of quid pro quo. For example, a $1 million gift from Qatar in 2012 came at the same time as the Clintons' advocacy for U.S. policy shifts in the Middle East.
I didn't hear about this on Always Broadcast Crap ABC. Did you, Squirrel? How about Never Broadcast Content, NBC? Did you hear of it? I didn't hear a thing.
The 2010 approval of a deal allowing a Russian state-owned company to acquire control of U.S. uranium assets coincided with another large donation. Foundation donors with stakes in the transaction contributed over $145 million, fueling claims that Clinton's role in the approval process was tainted by conflicts of interest.
And then what we lived through after they stole the election. What you saw when all we wanted was the evidence that now is readily available.
And that is a legitimate question. We know that ballot images were deleted. We know that test ballots were included in the recount process, and we have that confirmed. But I want to take just a minute and talk about what the Democrats did in response to legitimate questions over the 2020 election.
January 6th. That's what they did. The red herring, the coup d'etat, the fraud of January 6th. And you can always tell, Squirrel. They confess. They've got a bad little tell when they lie. They confess. Like Jamie Raskin, who looks dumber with hair than he did without.
Again, it's necessary, but it's not sufficient because what can be put into the Constitution can slip away from you very quickly. And the greatest example going on right now before our very eyes is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which they're just disappearing with a magic wand, as if it doesn't exist, even though it could not be clearer what it's stating. And so, they want to kick it to Congress, so it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025, to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified. And then we need bodyguards for everybody in Civil War conditions, all because...
What? You stupid son of a dog. There was no insurrection, and he's trying to get him on the insurrection clause that you can't have partaken in an insurrection then be elected. This fraud. There was no insurrection for two reasons. I wasn't there, being the first reason. And the only people that got shot and had guns were the Capitol Police, the same ones that let Nancy Pelosi sneak in 8 balls on a regular basis.
Obviously, they don't think it was an insurrection, and I believe, as I think you do, that they were heavily involved in that day. So why'd they go so all in?
Well, they had to. I've covered this in detail in June 2020. All of the major DNC apparatchiks, including Donna Brazile, the former head of the DNC, and John Podesta, Hillary Clinton's campaign manager, who was...
You remember John Podesta, Squirrel? He's the one that was embroiled. By the way, his brother, a big slob of a human being, embroiled in all kinds of pedophilia allegations and scandals, and a big lobbyist. Ooh, yeah. Just like the creepy-looking Podesta John, who worked for Hillary Clinton during the whole time of the emails that we still have no answers to.
Meanwhile, a hacked memo is now exposing the relationship between the Clinton Foundation and the Clintons' personal business, if only to a degree. WikiLeaks released a memo written in 2011 by former aide to Bill Clinton, Douglas Band. It reveals that Band and other chief fundraisers would press charity donors to direct business opportunities, including paid speaking engagements to the former president. Nancy Cordes is in Tampa, Florida, where Hillary Clinton...
Now you're going to say statute of limitations? You mean like E. Jean Carroll? The one who another Obama judge said Trump has to pay that schizophrenic lunatic with a cat named Nipples?
You don't feel like a victim?
I was not thrown on the ground and ravished. Which, the word rape carries so many sexual connotations. This was not sexual. It hurt.
But I think most people think of rape as it is a violent assault. It is not.
I think most people think of rape as being sexy.
Let's take a short break.
Think of the fantasies.
We're just going to take a quick break. If you can stick around, we'll talk more on the other side.
You're fascinating to talk to.
What? Statute. The rules are there are no rules. That's how they want to play. That's how we'll play. And everybody attached to this fraud of J6, and I mean everybody, it's time to round them up and throw them in the hoosah. I'm talking to you, Liz Cheney. You.
She would know. The 28-year veteran was on the team that evacuated Vice President Dick Cheney on 9/11, and she served on then Vice President Biden's protective detail. He named her director in mid-2022. Amid a swirl of controversy over the agency deleting nearly all of its text messages from January 6th.
Wow, huh, Squirrel? Very interesting. Now get Nick Nolte's mugshot, known as Liz Cheney. Throw her fat ass in jail next to Hillary. Of course, the guards won't be able to tell them apart.